This video is all about the hit song pyramid, how to nail your song release, how to build the best possible song so it has the most potential possible. Okay, so I like to use pyramids as analogies because they're very helpful, and I recognize pyramid type structures everywhere in music, in songwriting, in mixing, in mastering. It's everywhere. The very first thing is why I use a pyramid is that we have a very strong foundation, and then essentially once we built that foundation, we can't build a wider pyramid than the foundation allows, right? So it's always going in this direction. And the best we can possibly do is just fulfill the prior step. Okay, so the very first step is songwriting. We need to make sure we have a hit song that is written before we do anything else to it. Because if we have a hit song, it doesn't really matter how, crappy your snare sounds. It's still going to be a hit song. It's still going to be a banger. Spending a disproportionate amount of time to ensure that we have a hit song before we do anything else to it is in our best interests as artists to go the furthest possible with our releases. The next layer of our pyramid is production and arrangement. This is kind of the same thing in my mind. Arranging the song, but also producing the song is kind of one and the same. We're choosing the instrumentation. We're, maybe adjusting the layout of the song a little bit to make it make sense production-wise. And ultimately, we're just trying to tell the story that the song is trying to convey and also emphasizing what's already great about the song, such as the melody. If it has a really catchy chorus, I want to be able to play that a lot during the song and also show it in the best light possible through the arrangement and the instrumentation that I'm putting behind it. As you can see, the song already has its potential, and then this is just fulfilling that potential that we've already laid in the foundation. So we can definitely ruin the song by having terrible production and terrible arrangement, but it's never going to make the song better essentially than it potentially could be from the songwriting stage. The next layer we have after production and arrangement is recording. So if we already have the song, we want to then put it in the best light possible by taking that arrangement, recording it professionally, recording it well so that it conveys, again, the production, arrangement, and story that the song is trying to convey. The next stage of this is editing. So, editing can't fix a bad recording. However, it can view that recording in the best light through editing. And most people just skip to mixing after this point. They don't really think about editing. It's not really a major step in their process, and not very many people talk about it. And it's kind of an unsexy subject, to be fair. And it's kind of boring, and which is why most people don't spend that much time on it. However, you cannot underestimate its power in being able to take a recording that has potential into a recording that sounds really professional. And if you have any sort of issues with your song, like the drums are out of time with the bass, with the guitars, then all of a sudden that's going to be an amateur sounding song immediately that nobody's going to want to listen to for very long. By editing our tracks, whether that's tuning the vocal or adjusting the timing of our guitars and our drums, then all of a sudden it's going to tighten up the song and it's going to sound way more professional way before we even mix it. But it's going to sound even more mixed just by editing, let alone mixing. Speaking of mixing, that is the next stage of the pyramid. So we have songwriting, production, recording, editing. Now we finally have mixing. So mixing is the second to last step in this whole process. So you'll see that mixing, while it's important, is going to fulfill everything that we've done so far. You can't rely on mixing to fix a bad song. There's just no possible way it's going to do that. While mixing, again, I teach people how to mix, and it's really helpful. One of those areas that's very difficult to understand until you really dive into it and get the right lessons from mixing. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's the fifth to least important thing in the whole songwriting production journey. Because again, you can't change the arrangement or production with mixing. You can convey what's already there the best way possible. But if it was an ugly song, it's still going to be ugly, right? That's the whole phrase, polishing turds. It's still going to be a turd at the end of the day, okay? And then the last step is mastering. So mastering, again, is just a fulfillment of everything that's happened before it. Mastering is going to bring out everything that was wrong with the song, but also was great about the song. So if you have a great song, great production, great recording, great editing, great mixing, then all of a sudden when you master it, it's going to sound amazing. But on the flip side, if you made some mistakes in the songwriting process, some mistakes in the production process, but then you just nailed the recording and editing and mixing, mastering is still going to bring out those flaws in the song. It's still not going to sound as professional, even though like technically sonically it's correct. It's still going to not be a very good song because it was hindered at those foundational levels. If you want to figure out how to have a hit song release, the team and I over at Night Owl Music Group actually created a process to basically go through all of this to ensure that we have a hit song at every single stage of the process. This system that we've developed is incredible. We have yet to not hit 100,000 streams on an artist's first release after working with us. So if you want to get 100,000 streams minimum on your very next release, click the link right below this video because it's going to take you to another video where I explain the process and actually what we do to actually achieve those incredible results. So if you want to learn about that system, click the button right below this video and you can check that out there. Okay, with that said, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.